Hello, hello, hello. What's going on out there, crypto world? Traders, no matter where, what cloth you're from, equities, all that, Forex, all are welcome in the trading community. So let's go ahead and talk about some Bitcoin charts. This is your boy, and other things too. I finally made a little list over here you can see on the right, organize the flow of the show a little bit better. So I hope that helps. We'll see how that works. Anyway, this is your boy, Z-Rex, No Noiz, coming at you live on this lovely Saturday, January 23rd, 2021. Hope y'all's weekends are being super badass right now and full of eventful things. Let's go ahead and jump into the price action. Mama Bear is displayed here on the chart, as we can all see. But real quick, before we get to that, let's go over to the top coin movers today. QTUM, Mana. Mana's still leading. We'll go look at Mana here in a little bit. So there are some movers in the green for the daily. Let's go to the weekly and see. Oh, just ignore that one on the top. Yeah, actually, we can go ahead and filter some of this crap out because I don't care about most of those. H-bar, some big movers on the week here, but kind of just lackluster for the most part. There's some small guys moving. Eno coin, I don't know anything about that. Let's just look at that real quick. What the hell is Eno coin? There's like so many damn new coins. Let's see here. Dang, it's not even on TradingView, so that's surprising. Huh. Where the hell is this thing traded at? Let's go find out. Bitlaxy, yeah, so no one cares about that. Clearly, you got to be careful about those shit coins because of that reason. So anyway, let's go back to Mama Bear. All right, so we got a little bit of a pullback here on low-term time frames, early wee hours. Here, there's a little dump, about 4%. Kind of getting a little bit of a rejection from that level around the 32, 33,000 area that we'd like to see hold. So that's not super sexy. Let's go, there we go. That's not super sexy by any means. Now we're underneath it. We got all the averages mostly in chronological order, except for the 377 is kind of the last line of hope for the short-term time frames here, where this wick got, or this tail got put in on that candle. On the daily, still kind of here in this little range. As we spoke about yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised some little range action for the weekend. Weekends are generally boring price action anyway. Of course, there's always exceptions, but for the most part, that's what goes down. And you can kind of see it's finding more support, or it's attempting to find support right here in this business, which we spoke of the last few days. Just all this biz here with big tails on these candles here and there, and a real deep one here to 27,000. So kind of just price is kind of just trying to figure it out. The market's like, oh, what are we gonna do from here? no one knows shit. Like I've always said, we be watching that same movie. I guess the best thing about this on the lower time frames is you do have what looks to be about a 618 pullback. Yeah, so you're at about a 618, and you're like, why didn't you use the tail? Why don't you use exactly the body? I like to kind of just split all the price action. You know, everybody has their own kind of little way to do it, but that's how I kind of like to do it. It's all about like just ranges to me and just kind of areas, and it's never, oh, it's right here at exactly, you know, $31,295.71. Like, we don't have to be that specific. That's just too much. I just need like general areas anyway. Because if you try to get too specific and have too many damn rules and stuff on your strategy and too many inputs, and usually it'll F you up in the long run. Anyway, so this is a good spot for it to bounce right there. As you can see, this is about that 618 area, and we are trying to get over the 382. So we'll see if this can get some continuation to the upside. Let's go to a daily. Daily still looks all right as long as it's staying up. Man, that 32K level is really important. That hasn't changed pretty much since really the last week. It's been kind of the same. The worst part about this structure is just the lower lows and lower highs, like we've been discussing, and like the price is showing us. And we are pretty much even with these lows, so it's not quite all the way broken on longer term time frames, but in the intermediate structure, it's definitely showing that kind of action. Hopefully this isn't turning into like some kind of real sloppy descending triangle, and that's where those lower term time frame closes, like this 3 hour that I'm on right now, getting below the 31, 32 area. Like we said, any kind of candle close below that's not immediately bid back up. You can see every time it did kind of close down in those ranges, it didn't stay there for more than the day. I mean, here and here, and also right here. So there is definitely lots of demand there. Let's see. Let's zoom in on these guys. This looks all right on the RSI. I'd like to see it get back above 50 though. Not consolidate down here in like the weaker zone, but it is above the exponential, so that is kind of nice. DMI, it's pretty neutral. Bears have a slight advantage on DMI though. Let's see, on the daily, they have pretty much full advantage on a daily right now. And let's see, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Pretty much kind of the same as yesterday, just range bound. Horizontals, we get back over 33.5. We can probably get a little bit of pump up here to like 35-ish. But yeah, we lose this here. You can see these candles at like the 31,666 area. Oh my gosh, the devil's number. Yeah, we get back below that and make a new body close on this structure. That'll look real shitty. If that happens, the mid-20s around this business and the CME gap, which is right around there too, right here, becomes very real. So do just keep an eye out for that. Be diligent here. This is not the sexiest looking price action. But hey, if we can get a little dump this weekend to that gap, that would be great. I would really like that for a longer term structure. I think that would bode well in the long term. But hey, you know, I don't know shit. That's my opinion talking. I'm just trying to trade what the chart shows me. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, again, kind of showing the relative strength, kind of staying a little bit more bid up than Bitcoin is. You can see it's up here at the highs, where Bitcoin is definitely below this major structure here, which already kind of looks like it broke down from like a descending triangle. So showing that relative strength. This is actually pretty good read for Ethereum, especially if we could get the bulls back up into the power zone and also coinciding with some RSI back above the exponentials. But as of now, just kind of consolidating right here at the highs. Ethereum looks like if it breaks that 1180 level, we'll probably come back down here on these bodies and see what the market's demand is there. But if we stay here and just kind of go sideways into the week, we will just naturally cross back over this, and that would actually look pretty damn good. DMI, pretty neutral on the 3 hour, neutral on the daily. Wow, weekly though, bulls are very much intact with their strength. 3 days still there. 2 day kind of finally getting close to neutral, but hey, they're still in the power zone. So, and that looks like about 12.5. Let's put on some Bollinger Bands real quick on the weekly. Okay, yeah, so this is interesting. Bollinger Bands on a weekly for Ethereum are about right where we are now. So that's actually super interesting. Staying above 12K this week likely would usher in some new highs on Ethereum. Mr. Unicorn Shirt Man. Let's see if we have the same kind of read on Bitcoin. No, it lost it. Not super sexy. No, that's not what you want to see for the price action relative to Bollinger Bands. But that's only one indicator, one read, so we can't put all the weight on that guy. But it's just a good point of reference. Let's go ahead and turn that off. All right, Litecoin. Yeah, getting a little rejection here from the 21 stacked right on the 10. Not a surprise to see that. This really needs to clear that 145 area to at least try to get a stab up to 160. But this candle is definitely ugly. It's been ugly. We've mentioned it a few times. So without chopping yourself to death, really I'm just waiting for Litecoin to either go above like 153 or close below all this business right here at around 125, like mid 120s. So if that happens, that's going to kind of usher in the next trade for myself or direction. I do kind of like this setup here. This is decent on the RSI. This isn't great though on the DMI. It's Litecoin's kind of looking a little bit weaker, which isn't surprising. It has been for a little while. What is this guy doing on there? Let's get this off. Delete. Getting rejected from the extension target up here. Horizontal at about 175, almost to the dot. But we are finding support on the 10 simple weekly. So again, that's going to coincide with these time frames on the daily. We hold that mid 120s. Litecoin is still okay for the upside because you always should default to higher time frames. You never want to fight the macro trend. Oh, wow, that's so dangerous. I've lost way too much damn money trying to do that, thinking I was smarter than everybody else, but that's never the case. Again, we're all watching the same damn movie, and you don't have trillions of dollars. So, you know, you're not going to know more than all these other people trading. Maybe you do have $1 trillion. Very highly unlikely, though, if you're listening to my dumb ass. So, all right. Anyway, daily on XRP, same shit, different day. We just can't get out of this freaking range. 26 to 30-ish just stays right in there. I mean, it's a 12, 13% range. All the MAs are just squished up. Let's see. Volatility is coming down on the daily here. You can see on the historical volatility up at the top. So that's interesting. Kind of calming down from all this sell-off. That's the first kind of signs you want to see for a possible reversal, but really horizontals on this are king. Anything below like 30-ish cents, I don't care anything about longs on this guy. Dot. I'm adding dot in here and some of these other ones just because, let me show you why. Oh, you know what I should add actually while I'm thinking about this? No, I don't want to do that. All right. So I just added in there because of the market cap. I just was like, well, what are the top 10? And we'll just always kind of watch those. And funny enough, Polkadot's number frickin' 4. Who would have thunk that? So, I mean, that's super wild. I mean, it's like almost up there with Tether and shit. That's pretty crazy. So I just kind of added it like for that reason. All right. Anyway, Polkadot, freaking great. Just defying all of the markets. Just goes up. It's looking nice here. Looks like it's getting pushed up by the shorter term moving average. See if that can keep up the momentum. You do. That's not really great divergence on that. Yeah, this looks actually still really good. This basing pattern on medium time frames over the last, what is it, about a week. Yeah, we cleared 1970 on this biatch, and it's probably going to keep running. And we're in blue sky breakout mode on this guy, so it's bullish until it ain't. It's kind of that simple. Don't overthink this shit. Anything below 15 bucks, though, you got some pretty good damage to the structure. So we'll go ahead and put some alerts on for that guy. But I do like the posturing of the DMI and the RSI here. Looks pretty fantastic. All right, let's go to Hodgkinson's, Mr. Charles. The A Dizzle. This is Cardano. Looks really good. Also in blue sky breakout mode. Let's see. No, like a little, like, crappy bearish divergence, but nothing to really ride home about. You really like to see him go sub 50 in the run to create, like, technical, super technical divergence. Maybe you can call that just grade A or something. But anyway, kind of like doing a broadening wedge type pattern. Let's draw that in there if you don't know what that is. Kind of like this. Broadening descending wedge. And this is generally a bullish pattern, actually. So that's very interesting. Maybe this is going to break out to the upside. And if you don't know about patterns and you want to look some stuff up about that, Bukowski is probably the default guy for all of that. And you can just go to the patternsite.com and check all that out. I don't do any affiliate stuff or any of that or get paid from any of that. So, you know, whatever. I'm not trying to shill stuff. I'm just trying to share tools that are useful. But yeah, if this thing can close above 36 cents, lovely. Below 33 cents, shitay. It's about it on this one because it's just in blue sky mode. So you got to just keep those real simple. Link. Look at that link coming up all the way to its Bitfinex listing price of about 25 bucks. Is that across the board? Let's double check that. Link. What are we on? Bitfinex. So let's go to Binance. No, not at all. So that was just late. So I'm actually going to change this one. How do I do that? I don't know. I'm going to mess with that later. So yeah, we're going to check because I want the most data populated because that makes the indicators and everything work more better. But yeah, Link still looks good. I mean, look at this. The opening up down here, the EMAs. Just rocking it. I mean, just getting caught up by the 21 and between the 21 to 55, that's very textbook for bullish continuation. Anything above 18 bucks on Link, I don't have any reason to be bearish on this guy. So, yeah, looking awesome on Link. You are getting a little bit of stalling on the RSI, so kind of maybe take a slight note of that, but I wouldn't be doing anything crazy with my position on Link because of it. You want to see price really tell you what's up. BCH. Kind of like Bitcoin's chart here, making this sloppy little descending type triangle. Bears getting in control on the DMI. They've been having it since January, right before this big dump. Let me go ahead and put some of my horizontals on this. 16, 10, and 26 is what I like to use. So yeah, you can see, yeah, this is a pretty good bearish momentum. The bulls are trying to step in though here. So horizontals again, 415-ish. As long as we're holding that. Nope, not crossing up. And if we clear that 450, damn, monster wanted 350. Then we'll probably break out to the upside, maybe up into this mama range in the upper 400s, and we'll see what goes on after that. But right now, real similar posturing to Bitcoin's chart. BSV, pretty sloppy down here, kind of selling off anything below this wick from yesterday's doji type candle. It's not going to be good. You can see it bounced one more again off the bottom here on, excuse me, I thought I was about to sneeze. Oh, I hate that actually when they don't come out. It's like I want to sneeze. Yeah, bulls getting right into the neutral zone. Right here. So if they're going to maintain their control, this is usually where the pushback will start happening over the next couple days. So yeah, but if anything breaks below this 169 level, and definitely this trend line cross, which is about 166, bulls are pretty iced out. And the daily probably needs to close below there because this is a lot of business there. A little flash below it and the daily coming back up and closing above it wouldn't really do it for me to get super bearish. But oh, this setup though I do kind of like on medium-term time frames. So when you have the exponentials crossing back up to the upside, like they are here, you see this shorter-term one on top. I know they're both gray, but you can see where they cross here to the downside. Obviously, the one on the lower is the faster-moving one. And as this one comes up, and now it's crossing up to the upside, you can kind of see some support being put in this range. And at the same time, you're getting the DMI for the bears back in the neutral zone. Next, if we can see the bulls start picking it up, and that would probably happen if we close medium time frames above like 177, 178-ish. But this is kind of the very start of a possible good move for BSV, maybe up into testing up into this range at about mid 180s again, which it's obviously been battling for a long ass time, like almost the last year really. Look at this on a weekly. It's just there's 180 right there where my cursor is. It's just constantly been going up, down, over it, chopping it, all that shit. But on the medium time frames, this is actually a pretty good setup. And what I like about these two is you've got like real, and this isn't obviously not financial advice, do your own damn research, I don't know shit. But for me, I like these because it's real easy to manage risk. You know, I'll stop out like right below this, and then hell, for what is that? It's like barely 4%, 5%. That ain't shit in the crypto world. For a potential maybe run up here, 7-ish percent, 7 to 10% probably, depending on how excited they want to get. But I do kind of like that little mini setup on BSV. Let's go look at XMR. XMR is kind of having that similar style as well, so I do kind of like that. Let's go to daily. Daily doesn't look... I guess if this reaction holds from all this business, the daily does look all right. It just really needs to hold these wicks and these bodies and all this business here, so about like mid 120s. As long as it holds the 120 handle, then you're good to go. And a handle just means like the range. If I say like 120... handle, that's like any price between like 120 and 130 is like the handle. So like if that makes sense, it's just that range from all the 120s, 121, 126, whatever. So that's looking all right, but you do have these curling down, putting some pretty decent overhead supply at about 150 on that guy. Weekly... yeah, weekly doesn't look super great, but again, it's showing kind of the same support levels, that 120 handle. So as long as we're staying above that, it looks all right. But you do have the medium time frames gearing up for a retest of possible maybe like up here to 150. I could definitely see that happening out of this structure. If it immediately just rolls over, I mean, because we'll know pretty fast, I'd say probably by early in the week, like Monday or so, Tuesday, if this is going to play out or not. Because if it doesn't and it starts just going sideways, all these will just kind of naturally start to just curl back down, and then it'll look kind of shitty. So, but yeah, kind of like lower risk, not too terrible. Let's go to another privacy coin. I'm putting air quotes, you can't see me. I'll have a camera here soonish, so you will be able to check it out and look at my ugly mug. All right. This posturing is pretty similar to the other coins we've been looking at too. Let's see, 16. Oh, I got to do it right here. 10, 16, 26. Yeah, this is a interesting posturing as well. I like this one more because it does have the 200 MA right below it supporting this price, like the Jesus man. Looks real nice. Love that. So another thing, just like we were talking about with BSV, you know, I do like these setups for pretty low risk. I mean, you're like 5-10% before you the price tells you you're wrong. And don't ever get married to something like that. You're like, oh no, I'm right, the market's wrong. No, you're always wrong. I have a good friend of mine. It sucks. He's like in a really bad hole, but I hope he pulls out of it. And it's always like, oh, the market's just screwed me. And I've said this too a bunch of times. The market screwed me. Market screwed me. You always want to like scapegoat why you lost money, and almost 9 times out of 10, it's your own damn fault. And you probably just didn't. You probably had good trade setups and plans, but you probably just didn't trade your plan. You got down here, you got emotional, and you start letting emotions dictate your entries and exits, and then your account goes to zero. It's kind of usually how that happens, or usually what will happen. Dash, lots of resistance in this $110 area. Let's go on daily. Like okay support though, a lot of business right here in this kind of weird sloppy flag with a nice pump. Looks like it kind of probably hit that measured move. So if as long as it stays above this area about $90, I don't hate it. It has that same kind of posturing too here. So this is a good setup for, it looks like a lot of coins are sharing this same, this is what you got to see before we get continuation, if this is just going to be a little liquidation break. So that's a pretty decent thing as well, kind of sharing with the last few coins that we looked at here. So that's good. Let's go look at, what do we want to see? Some bigger move. Oh, yeah, QTUM and Mana. Oh, not QTUM. That ain't right. QTUM, wow, look at that. These are 3-hour candles. Just, what's up? Let's go. 33% on the day, roughly 34%. Yeah, this looks great. Bouncing right off again. You see the close, dips. Had a little wick below it. But the body ended up coming right back between the 21.55, and now we're engulfing all this price action all the way back to pretty much this big dump. So this is bullish as hell as long as it stays above like 330, like lower 3 handle. So on a short time frame, this local high here would probably get me out of the trade if I was in this at about 350. I'd probably get a little bit cautious, but yeah, this looks all right. Below 350 though, not so sexy. Mana, it's like mana, bro. Like if you play Magic, you know, I definitely dabble in some Magic playing. Super nerdy, right? I know, I get it. Mana, this sucks. There's no data on this. We need to replace this chart with a different chart here. Binance, what am I on? Gemini, no wonder. Yeah, Gemini, who trades on there? The Twinkle Toe Twins. This looks pretty good. Lots of overhead supply, though, right here at like 23 cents. So that's not great. That still is about 20-ish% away. So, man, we clear that, though. I'm actually going to go ahead and make an alert right there at like 25 something. We cross up over there in that range and it can hold price. Man, Mana might start running pretty hard in the blue sky mode. But yeah, you can see getting bid up, opening up all the EMAs in chronological order. Everything we like to see, perfectly set up. I mean, this is a pretty sexy looking pump here. Anything staying above, let's say about 15 cents, looks all right. I wouldn't really be concerned until it lost about 15, 16 cents. The graph. Let's look at the graph. What a stupid name. All right. GRT. The graph. Okay. Oh, not much data. This is like... Oof. Let's see if maybe we have something that's a little bit more information. Possibly. Uh-oh. I'm losing... Oh, no, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, internets. Oh, there we go. What are we on? Coinbase. It looks like that's when it just came out. Immediately pumped out the gates. You know, 2,000%. Just totally normal in this day and age in markets and clown world. But, yeah, actually, I don't really like this chart. This kind of sucks. So let's just zoom in. You can't, like, higher time frames, can't even really look at them, which is kind of lame. But this looks pretty damn good. You're getting the EMAs starting to curl all up, open up, point to the upside. We're above mama, chrono order. I mean, even down here, we're about to get over the... we're about to get into the power zone on DMI too. So if that could happen on DMI, that would likely get this to pump up here into the 60s and probably maybe test these all-time highs at about 76 cents, and then we'll have to reevaluate. But this is a pretty decent looking chart here. I do like that on low time frames. All right, boom, equities. Equities are closed. We don't have to do that. Boop, skip, skip, skip. I guess we could do like a weekly thing. Nah, we're going to skip that. You can just check out yesterday's video because it's all going to be the same. Dixie, gold. Pretty much all this stuff is going to be the same. I guess let's look at gold weeklies. I don't think we did longer term time frames on the gold chart yesterday. Resistance, yeah, see, struggling. That 160 area is definitely the pivot point here. Nice candle. We wanted to see it hold. That 1860 area had a little flash below it on that candle. Ended up coming back above it, but not a super sexy candle. Not super doji-like, but a little bit indecision, and it rolled over. But it did get bid after dumping pretty hard. I mean, this is a 2% move. That's pretty good in gold. But it did get bid back up above the mama on the daily. So I do like that, except DMI is strong. That's the only bad part about it on the daily. And you did get expansion too on the medium time frames for gold, but on the weekly, really horizontals, it's like real confusing because as we were talking about this freaking price action here the other day, just like what the hell is this? It's like gold does not do that super often. You have a little bit of kind of funky one here, but on the weekly, it's still bullish as long as we're holding this like low 1800 level. We lose this lower here. Let's make a lower low off of this structure. It's like 1780, 1770s. That would not be sexy price action at all. And I would look for probably way lower prices in gold. Let's see if we got... Oh, 2-day is trying to come back up over the RSI, though. And 2-day is actually one of my favorite time frames for gold specifically. So I do kind of like that. That's kind of nice. And very, very confused DMI is even on a 2-day. So, and it's actually been kind of confused even since this dump. But anything above that 1860, if we can just hold above that, then I would say run into 1900 bucks is pretty certain over the longer term time frames. Alrighty, I think that's probably gonna do it. Maybe we'll just run through the weekly charts on ES, because why the hell not? Looks great. Looks awesome. Except we're still struggling to get over the 70. We talked about this in the last few videos. It's just really weird that it's not getting up there. Just like no power zone on the RSI. And even the DMI, it's like, it's just barely floating on it, you know? And there's a lot of times where it gets real excited, like back over here. But yeah, I mean, just kind of just chilling. Bears, though, are about to go in the forgotten zone on a weekly. And that does not happen very often at all on the S&P. That's pretty damn rare. You can see right here, here's a blip. Almost went into it, but then got rejected. Here's a little blip over here in 2017, which that ushered in like a blow-off top for about 12% before immediately getting rejected. And that was pretty much early 2018, January and February. So that's about like the only other time that happened. Little blip here. Let's see what that did. Oh man, that one's kind of hard to read. Let me get the date exactly. August 15. Oh yeah, that's the crash in the summer. You can see when the the Bulls got forgotten. As soon as they came back up, they rallied pretty hard, and they did make a higher low. So they did some bullish divergence right there from this low to this low, and then it was off to the freaking races. So, yeah, but this still looks pretty good for the Bulls. I mean, it's bullish until it ain't, right? I guess everything's just blue sky mode. Let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ looks nice, closing above. Right above, I mean, just barely over this extension. So that's kind of sexy. It would have been more sexy if it was like definitively above it. Same thing though on this RSI, just weirdly super flat. Wow, look at this though. DMI, bears are in the forgotten zone. Oh, wait till Monday. Right, Joe. Let me know if you want me to look at anything, man. Yeah, so this is interesting. We do not get sustained moves below in the forgotten zone for bears on the NASDAQ. Almost only one blip here just for like a second. When was that? Let's zoom in. Let me clean up the chart too. Oh, right here it looks like it was. Yeah, it was right there. January 18th, same thing. So as soon as they went in there, it immediately got rejected. So that's interesting. Okay, let's go back further and just do a little bit of research in here. Almost went to it, but hey, close enough is close enough. You can see that was literally the bottom candle. Massive rally off of it. Here's one right here, July 14th on the bearish side. Yep, candle. And then had a little tiny dump, little 3-4% dump, which ended up just immediately getting bid back up before a larger 11% dump. So, okay, that's interesting, noteworthy. And here's one more, February 11. Yep, let's zoom in because I can't see that shit. February 11. All right, yeah, so right when it's getting close to it, you get a little slap-a-rooski of about 5% to the downside. But, you know, see what I'm kind of saying. I will show you something that is interesting. Let's see, SPX. I feel so stupid for not, I did a lot of research on this. And this is going to be a real busy chart, so just bear with me. I did a shit ton of research on this guy, and I didn't even heed the advice from it. I feel real retarded on that. But you can see on a weekly, we went down to 20 on the RSI and Corona times, okay? So maybe if I can just do like this. All right. So we went down to 20 on RSI right here on this weekly candle. All right. And I'll have to find it. Maybe I'll pull it up on a different stream. I have a chart list, and I went all the way back to like 1890 or something to see, because I just was like, man, 20 RSI, like holy shit balls, that's low. And so I went all the way back and I did some measurements. Let's see, maybe I can find it. Hold on, give me a sec. This is we're way late in this anyway. It's a slow day. It's Saturday, rainy, crappy. It's all good. We can just try to just bear with me for a minute here. Nope. That's not it. No, that's not it either. It's probably going to be, I think it's on my other computer. Definitely worth showing, though. I'll share that on tomorrow's stream. I'll dig it up and find it. But I pretty much went back and said anything that was within about 10% of 20 on a weekly, I marked it, and I looked at the further downside it had, how long it took to recover any of those downside actions that it may occurred after the read, etc. Just did a deep dive on there, and literally it's only been like, man, what was it, like 15 times? Let me see if I can see them all. Yeah, these orange lines were the markings that I found in history. I think it was only about 14, 15 times going all the way back to the 1800s. 1876 was the last one. And on average, after that signal happened, there was only about 10% more downside in the markets before they corrected violently to the upside. And it was the same almost every single time. And it happened. I did that week, at the end of the week, I did the analysis and was like, oh man, it's still going to go down. And it literally fell right in the threshold. It was about 6% down to the downside after that signal fired. And then that was it. Obviously, we haven't gone back to those lows. And it coincided with a lovely area. Man, you got to trust what the price says. You don't know better than that. And especially after that thorough research I did. But hey, live and learn. It's all good. What are you going to do? Buy GameStop calls, I guess. Go all in every day. No, don't do that. I'm just kidding. No, that'll wreck your ass. All right, so I think that'll do it. There is this W pattern here. Let's go ahead and measure that real quick and see if we've hit that measured move. You can see that W pattern, super bullish, especially at the top of a range like this happened. And you pretty much just take the height of this. I'm just going to take the whole damn W, put it up there. And look at that. We've actually pretty much hit the measured move of this bullish continuation pattern. I guess real technically, I mean, this is where I'm not trying. I don't like to get like that fucking whatever. This is, you know how I do. It's just, this is close enough. Close enough is close enough. And so it really is, what is that, about 39-ish, 100. I mean, we're almost goddamn there. What is that, 40 points? It's not even a percent away. So close enough is close enough. We've hit that measured move on SPX. So that's interesting. I didn't notice that when I was looking at the charts the other day. Huh. All right. Well, hey. I kind of like that. We'll see if we get past that. Past closing a daily up above this range here, 38.70. We're highly probable that we go up to like 4K. And just 4K is a nice round number, psychological resistance, all that good stuff. But then there's extensions. A lot of extensions from different measures fall into this red box. So that's kind of the target right now. All right, let's go wrap it up with Bitcoin. Wrap it up. Looking okay still. Trying to hold on, just barely. This structure doesn't look as good as some of these other ones. Like when we were talking about BSV, XMR. XMRs is really nice. I like that one a lot. ZEC has a good, pretty decent one. But Bitcoin's is it's a little not as sexy. But we are neutral now here on the bears and the bulls, so that's kind of cool. The horizontals is still this game to play with Bitcoin, as it's been for a while, for at least a week or two. We don't want to see no daily close against these bodies. If we do, it's going to be bad news bears. I even think this lower time frame, if we even close a body below this structure right here, it's probably going to hit and retest these lows again. And likely one more test like that would usher into the mid 20,000 range. But it can never go to 20,000 again, ever. So many people are saying that. It's pretty silly. Anything can happen, so just be prepared. What is it? Don't predict, prepare. Predicting is a fool's game. So that's kind of the setup there. I don't see anything else standing out. I'm going to be signing off. Going to slang some pizzas. And then there's a good fight on tonight. The Conor Poirier fight should be a doozy. Both of those dudes are super hard hitting, so I'm going to be watching that later. Yeah, I don't know, it's like 9 Central or something. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Have a nice little thing to distract from the charts for a little bit. Hang out with some friends, all that fun stuff. That's important for your trading psychological health and your emotional capital, because you can't watch these damn screens all day. It's just not good for you. It's not, It really isn't. So don't do it. All right, guys. I'll see y'all next time. Much love. We'll be streaming tomorrow. Have a great Saturday evening and night, or wherever you're at in the world, whatever time it is. Much love. Peace.